Hey folks, welcome to Market Intraday Analysis by InTheMoneyStocks.com, your leaders in pure technical analysis, avoiding all that Wall Street hype. This video for Tuesday, October 11th, 2011 is sponsored by Realtik. Alright, let's get into the mix, guys. Markets again are having a basic flat day across the board. This is coming on the back of a one-week rally in the markets that saw the markets move up from a low last week on the SPY of 107.50 to a high of about 120. That's a 12% move up in the stock market in just 1 week's time. The markets obviously look a little bit tired, but the question is, do we have technical signals here telling us the market's going to reverse? And I'm going to show you exactly what I'm seeing on the charts. First off, this is the intraday SPY, which mirrors the S&P 500. You can see clearly we opened a little bit lower today, moved up right into this pivot top of 120 on the SPY, and then have now pulled back a little bit. Volume is very, very light, though. Again, volume was light yesterday when the bond market was closed. It's light again today. Now, the key about technicals on the charts right now, which again are telling us that we're into some resistance up here, are very simply seen by going to the daily chart of the SPY. First off, just take a look at this, folks. I'm going to draw on a trend line, and you're going to see, well, first off, you can see the white trend line sloping up. That's your pivot high right there. But if you want to see an extra level, what I want you to do is just take this little pivot high and extend it through the two previous highs and look at that mark. See where these two lines cross? The high of the day on the SPY, which again mirrors the S&P 500 on a daily chart tagged. So right there, that tells us there's some major resistance on a technical setting in this market. Next up, what we want to do is we want to go to the technology sector. So let's take a look at the QQQ, which is the NASDAQ 100. If we take a look at the QQQ, you can see I've drawn on this chart before, but clearly what you want to be looking at here, folks, is simply this connector high through this sector high right here, and look at that. Is that amazing or what? Connecting this high with this high gives you the exact high of the day on the QQQ. And again, there you have it, folks. The highs of the day both on the S&P 500 tracking ETF and the NASDAQ 100 tracking ETF. There you go. So again, this is something that we have to recognize in terms of traders and say, listen, we're up 12% or so in the last 1 week period, and you have now officially hit a major, and I repeat, a major trend line. All right, so again, what we want to see is whether or not we get through this level. If you get through this level, then the market should have another leg up. If you can't get through this level, then the market should reverse, and we could see a solid sell-off in the coming days. And again, there's a vote in Slovakia based on whether or not the bailout plan that they're putting forth in the European Union is going to pass. That should be done very, very shortly, that vote. It's expected, I believe, not to pass overall. So we'll watch and see how that plays out. You also have some other factors out there, like earnings beginning. Alcoa reporting earnings after the bell tonight. Let's take a look at Alcoa here. AA is the symbol there. Alcoa's had a big move up into the 20 moving average. That is resistance. So it'll be interesting to see if it's factoring in good earnings by where it currently is. Granted, it's sold off tremendously off the highs, but again, it is coming into that 20. It did tag that 20 moving average today. Alcoa again reporting earnings after the bell. I believe Thursday morning JPMorgan reports earnings. JPMorgan is down slightly on the day. This is another little leading indicator you want to keep an eye on. Keep an eye on JPM in terms of where it's trading. As again, if it's up or down, it's a good leading indicator of the overall stock market. And then also Google reports Thursday after the close. Google having a big bounce off the lows. Again, it's going to start to come into resistance. In fact, it tagged this resistance level today, and then if it continues up, this is your next resistance level right here. So there's a lot of resistance coming up in the upper ranges on Google up to about 560. Hard to believe that earnings would be good enough to send it through this area up here, especially if it continues rallying into Thursday's earnings. All right, if it pulls back into Thursday's earnings, if it pulls back today and tomorrow, then yeah, maybe it has another leg up on earnings. If it continues up into that, I would say very unlikely that it would have a move through that 200 moving average on earnings. All right, let's take a look at a couple other stocks out there. Exxon and Chevron are both pulling back a little bit today, but very minor pullbacks, down about 25 cents on Exxon. Chevron's down 18 cents on the day. There's Chevron. You can see it's stuck right between those dual moving average or dual key trend lines. Amazon is having a good day. Apple's having a very good day. Apple ran up into a little bit of resistance right here, as you can see, right around this 401 to 402 level. That was a little pivot top. We actually called out the 402 level in the intraday stock chat as it came right up underneath that. But that's that resistance right there on the daily chart. Look at the bounce on Apple Computer. Truly an amazing bounce there. Monstrous bounce. Now, a couple other things to just note here. Just again, if you want to know the essence of today, this is it, folks. This is all you need to pay attention to. Go back to the SPY and just focus on this area right here. This pivot right here, which we tagged today. That was the major level. That is an amazing level there to see these two lines crossing at that exact cross the market goes right into. In addition, if you want to go to even more steps to find out where the resistance level overall in the market is and how powerful it is, just clearly take a look at the QQQ chart connecting the pivot highs. That's all you need to know, in my opinion. What you're going to watch for now is, again, do we break above it? Do we stay below it? And that'll give you your general trend. I will be trading it in the intraday stock chat. I will be trading and swing trading in the research center. I invite you all to take a 7-day free trial. It's a 7-day free trial, folks. Come join the pros. Join the elite group that is mastering the markets and profiting from every move in the market up or down. Join the group that is better than the institutions, better than Goldman Sachs in terms of profiting and percentages and everything else. Start making money in this market for once instead of losing it and giving it to the institutions. Join inthemoneystocks.com. Take your 7-day free trial today. Take care, guys.